Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin. I am your empowerment coach here helping you to live better, love better, and be better. I am joined again by my awesome and amazing wife, Tarsha.
Hello.
And we do these recap reviews and reactions of one of our favorite shows, which is Put a Ring on It, which is on the Oprah Winfrey Network, OWN TV. All right. So if you have not already, what do we need them to do?
We need them to subscribe and to like.
Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Again, it costs you nothing, but it means everything to us. We love it. All right, but here's the thing. We have been watching this show. We're on episode 6.
Yes, I believe so.
And just in case you haven't seen it before, the premise of the show is that there are 3 long-term couples who, at least one person in the relationship is ready to put a ring on it.
Right.
The other person is not as ready to do that.
Right.
And so they're working through those issues, right?
Right.
So we're gonna save our biggest rebuke for the end. Because if you watch this, you already know. Yeah. All right. But let's talk about, we said Vince and Tamika.
Right. So Vince went out on his date first, found some things in common with the young lady, So it went well. And then Tamika went out with her date, which she was like, wow, he's a little bit more talkative. Yeah. But she was like, I need communication. And he was giving the communication that she needed. Right. So, but they both decided not to.
Well, no, Vince is
going to go on the second date.
Which, of course, does not make Tamika feel great.
Of course. Well,
because for her, it's a trust issue.
Right. And that's what kind of blows up when they have their group session. Yes. Because, my Dr. Nicole be on it. Dr. Nicole like, all right, well, let's just go ahead and bring out what happened before y'all got in here. And Tamika was like, well, I'm asking him what's going on with this text message on his phone. And then he wants to go in right into, well, you don't trust me, blah, blah, blah. And Dr. Nicole was like, all right, pretty much she's saying, why don't you just address it? Right. Why ask a question with a question? Right. Listen, let me help the men out. If you are in a trust issue situation and she's trying to rebuild trust, she asks you because you're so focused on your phone, what's going on, just tell her like, hey, I got so-and-so texting me, he acting crazy, whatever. Right. I'm in a group text with my buddies. Just be honest about what you're doing. Yeah. That reassures her that y'all are cool. Then you playing it off or not running responding, that means she's feeling like something might be up. Yeah. Yeah. So just be honest about what you're doing and keep it moving.
Exactly. I think the biggest thing is because it's a trust issue for her. With some of the others, it's just been, is it the right person? There's other things going on with the other couples. Yeah. For them, their big issue is trust. And so for Vince to really rebuild that trust, it means he's got to be open and maybe say things that he feels aren't necessary. Right. Because maybe he has no ill intent. He's not trying to hide. Right. But for Tamika, she's like, I want to know about this. And so you don't come back with that, well, why do you need to know about that? Why? Right. Don't you trust me? Well, evidently not. Right. If she's asking this because you messed up, she don't trust you. Right. So rebuild that trust. So that's the key thing for them is, again, rebuilding the trust. So yes, Vince is going back out on his date.
He's going back on his date.
Which I didn't necessarily feel a full chemistry from them.
No, I don't know if he's just being petty,
or just trying to spark a more emotion from her, right? So that again, it's kind of that reverse psychology type thing. Yeah, we'll see. All right, but yeah, their couple. I'm not sure where I stand on them as far as their longevity. I'm not sure.
I think there's potential there if they can get through, as we talked about in the past, through their issue, and they'll be okay. Okay. All right.
So then Hollywood and Ashley.
Oh my gosh. They're on something because I'm like, this episode, they seem a little bit corny with the,
No, I wasn't just a little bit corny.
With the dates coming over.
So if you saw, there's a scene there where Hollywood had an Al moment because we said that Hollywood's real name is Al. That's his government name. I found that out, right?
Figured it out.
So Al had a moment.
He had a moment.
He came to the forefront where the young lady that he was going on the date with came to the apartment, and Ashley was there. Right.
So he gonna pray.
He gonna pray. Okay, I'm gonna leave his prayer alone. Everybody needs to pray in their own way.
Everybody needs to pray.
But it was just so to me. It was just so played up for things.
Right.
You know?
It
wasn't
like,
authentic to me.
Going on?
And that may be his personality. Maybe he's just naturally corny as far as that. I don't think that. I don't think he's naturally corny. No. Al, I don't think you're naturally corny. I just think that in that moment you maybe played up to the camera just a little too much. Just my thought.
Yeah, that's our thoughts. But what I like going back to the group session because Dr. Nicole brought up about Al and his mom.
Yes. And
his mom looks like didn't do the best as a parent and may have at times abandoned Hollywood. I'm gonna call him Hollywood.
Yeah, this is Hollywood. Yeah,
Hollywood. And so Dr. Nicole was trying to get out of him. Okay, what did your mom do? And he states that, but then he goes in, well, she was trying. And Dr. Nicole's like, listen, she made a mistake, but you need to be able to own that in that moment she wasn't a good person. Right. In that moment, the way she treated you as a child was not like one. He was like, left him in the park
at 5 years old.
At 5 years old, that's traumatic. Yeah. That's like everyone has that story where you get left in the store and you can't find your parent moment when you're just like, and they're the hour over, but still for that moment you had no parents.
I do remember that dramatically.
I remember when it happened.
I remember it was like, whoa. So everybody has that moment, right?
But when someone intentionally leaves you and not you going off because
it's part of a pattern that continues on throughout his life.
Right. So now we understand why he blows up when Ashley is thinking or considering moving on, or even mentions it. Right. Where his whole attitude and possession, because he's trying to protect himself. Right. I feel like maybe he's still in that moment that he hasn't lost. But anywho, I don't get paid for that.
Right. We're not licensed counselors. Right. We just armchair quarterbacking this thing. All right. But then Hollywood went on a date.
Right, he went on a date.
He was liking the body.
Right, he's a booty man.
He a booty guy.
Notice that you have to say booty.
He
with the Louisiana
he likes
accent.
the onion, right?
He liked the onion,
right? But his date, he said that she didn't really ask about him, but I think in some respects she did, because she was like, "Why are you here? Right. What's going on with you and your girl?" Because then that tells, for if there's a prospective date or chemistry there, right, then that tells her what is the likelihood of you and I,
right, of what issues you have, right. And she puts him on the carpet like, if I was you and you did that to me like you did to your current girlfriend, I would have been gone. I think that gave him a wake up call too. Like, look, Ashley is special. She's staying with you through this, while other women would have left you. Yep. And you need to understand that. Yeah. And I don't think he really wanted to hear that.
I don't think so. But then Ashley, and this is where the episode ended. But Ashley,
her date, I don't blame her.
Ashley was like, hey. Ashley was like, I think I want to go on a second date and check this out and see. Yeah. And that, of course, set Hollywood off.
Hollywood his neck was moving.
Hollywood had a moment where he was like, look.
He was like, I cannot believe this. And then he was saying that, well, if you go out on one day and you got on a second day, you're going to have feelings for this person. You're going to have feelings. So he don't even trust her enough that she loves him. Look, I stayed through all this other crap.
9 years.
9 years. And now you're questioning because I go on 2 dates. So I think he's very insecure. Right. About
as it relates to this scenario, how that works out. Right?
I think he's insecure as a man. I'm putting it out there. I'm saying it. Because when your life is around your looks and everything, that's true. And then you're afraid. So him being afraid, like, well, I'm gonna get rid of you.
Especially if this is what you signed up for.
Right.
If you signed up to go on a show where you're going to date other people.
Right.
That's a possibility.
Unless they just didn't tell them, like, this is the cliffhanger. Like, they didn't know.
Right. Yeah. Well.
I mean, the other parties know. The people they're going out with know, like, hey, these people are in situations where they have a current boyfriend, but they're looking to do something else. Are you willing to go out on a date?
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
So, it'll be interesting to see how Ashley's second date goes.
Yeah.
And the dynamics, even if the second date comes to the apartment again. Because then...
The trailer was looking hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There's some chemistry.
Now...
I know.
Let me just say... If you watched the last video we did, I told you, run, Michael, run. Michael, thank you.
Michael is going on his 4th day.
Listen, Shea, pack your bags, girl.
Because, okay, so Whitney and Michael, they got chemistry there.
They have chemistry.
Whitney's like, bring your son. Hey, have your son live with you. I'm cool with kids. He a teenage boy. He needs his dad.
I wouldn't expect anything less. That sounds great.
And she's feeling Michael. So she's asking some really good questions. Whitney's very mature. She's putting it out there like, look, you don't text me. We've been further along if we communicate outside of these dating. And I get that you want to keep your boundaries with your girlfriend, but what happens when we start catching feelings, or I really start really wanting to like you, and we're in this situation? I need to know where this is going.
Because she makes the statement, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's almost like she was like, look, I may have to back out until you figure this out. I may have to pull back and not go on any more dates with you until you figure this out, because it sounds like she's starting to fall and catch feelings, right?
Right.
And so she's like, look, I get that this was all part of you figuring out,
right?
But this is, we could have been further along. And where we are right now, we need to figure some things out.
Right.
So that's their 3rd date.
That's their 3rd date.
Right.
And Michael's asked, "You want to go on the 4th one?" He was like, "Yep, I want to go on the 4th day."
There was no cliffhanger on this one.
No cliffhanger. It was like, "I want to go."
Yeah, let's go for 4.
Let's go for 4. And so Shea, obviously, she rolling her eyes, doing her thing, but Shea's planning her backup plan. Shea got a backup plan.
Shea collecting numbers, like, okay,
right? Like if this don't work out with him, can we still?
When I was younger and in college, I could, you go to the club. You collect numbers. This was before the whole cell phone. Let me put you on my cell phone. You actually had to have pen and paper, right? You have to have pen and paper so you can write down numbers. And you collect numbers throughout the night. And then you just kind of, okay, this is my top choice. This is the one I'm going to definitely give a call. This one I might wait until a couple of days later. So you did that. That's what Shea's doing. Shea is basically like collecting numbers. Like, I don't know if this is going to work out with Michael, because I'm sensing I might have to pack my bags. Or maybe he's packing his bags. I don't know.
Oh, no.
But she's collecting numbers, and it comes off very disingenuous.
It does. And she says to the date, because the date was like, I do want to kind of settle down. I do at a time want to have kids. I want to spend time with my wife first. But at some point, I want to have a son maybe and stuff. And she's like, why would you want to have kids? Listen, chick. You dated a man, even when y'all were friends, still had a kid. So
you knew this.
So you knew this. And if you don't want to have kids, or now you solidify after he spent the summer with you guys that you don't want to have kids, then be honest with the man so he can move forward.
Right.
Why do you think marrying him is going to change the fact that this kid is not coming?
Right.
I'm so clueless.
Yeah.
Am I clueless or is she clueless?
She is beyond clueless.
I don't understand.
She could go to Target, buy the game of Clue, and still not have a clue.
I'm confused. So find someone who don't want to have kids.
Right.
I don't have any problem with people saying I don't want to have kids.
It's not for everybody.
Don't have kids if you don't want to have kids.
No one's forcing you to.
But don't force someone else to make a choice to pick them over their kid.
Especially the child that's already here.
Like he's going into high school.
He it's not like
I'm
so
just,
listen. Yeah, we're you can tell we're a little frustrated with Shea.
I just don't understand.
I'm rooting for Michael. Not again. Let me just make this clear. We love.
Oh I'm all for love, but I can't understand why Michael can't make a decision that he need to go ahead and let that fish go.
And I don't want people to be in bad relationships.
No.
And from the outside looking in, Shea and Michael, just cut it. Just
don't be in a relationship just to say you're in a relationship.
Right. And get married just to say you're married.
Just to say you're married.
Even though y'all on two different pages.
Right. Just so you put a ring on and say, people have to get over the fantasy of marriage. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All the glitter, all the gold, what it looked like, it has silver under it. And being in a relationship, it takes WORK.
Right.
It takes work. It takes commitment.
Yes.
So if you want to pretend to go down the aisle, you can have a fantasy like at Disneyland. They'll set up a whole fantasy for a day. You can have your prince there, get in your white, do it up, enjoy the moment, and then leave.
Yeah.
But when you're saying that I want to be in a committed relationship with one person and I love this person, where's your goals?
Right.
You know,
right.
What both of you working together to accomplish on earth with a living purpose in life?
Right.
But I'm sorry, I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
Yeah, so I mean, it'll be interesting to see next week what happens, right? So as far as predictions for how this will end up, because I don't know how many weeks left we have left of the episodes.
Don't know.
But so far right now, I'm predicting that Michael and Shea, Michael will come to his senses, and Michael and Shea will not be a couple at the end.
Ooh, you're predicting that he ain't gonna put a ring on it?
I'm predicting if there's a ring coming, it might be for Whitney. Because I like the chemistry between Michael and Whitney.
They have great chemistry. But again, it's a new
they're
relationship.
more aligned, but they're more aligned.
They are more aligned with him, what he wants to do with his son.
I think Hollywood and Ashley will stick it out.
Oh, I don't know. He's hot about this date situation. Hot,
but I think that for her, I think that she's stuck around for a reason. So I think that I don't necessarily now this second date, we'll see how that goes.
We'll see how that goes because she was catching a little.
She was. Like, okay, and then I think that Vince and Tamika, I'm still up in the air about them.
I think they have great opportunity.
Right.
There to really.
But he's got to learn how to help rebuild the trust. That's the key thing.
He has to realize he's a part of the process. It's not about her getting over it.
Right.
He has to put in the work. Just like you put the work in to lose the trust, you have to put the work in. To rebuild the trust.
So put in the comments, let us know what your thoughts are, what you're thinking. Yes. Let us know your opinions of how things have gone down. Make sure, again, that you are hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button. And then as a special gift for all of our viewers, all those that are watching our videos, I've got a 10% discount off of my store, kevincrawley.com. I've got a few t-shirts out there, and hoodies, and I've got my book out there, so 10%. The code is in the comments there or in the description there, so make sure you take advantage of that as well. All right, anything else?
Nope.
I think that's it. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Be blessed.